to fix the top panels off to the steel structure, there are two main areas that need to be secured. So the first one is just the roof section of each panel will come to site with some C-channel bonded into it. Now that is just going to land directly on top of these angle brackets that have been bolted to the steel, and that's just a bolted connection, M12 bolt washers, a spring washer nut. And we've given you a couple of different lengths to account for different tolerances. For the most part though, I think you'll be wanting to use the 55mm long screws, bolts, sorry, so just bear that in mind when you're preparing to go up in the boom. Each of these brackets also comes with a 16mm tapped hole. So on site you've got some 16mm M16 bolts. Use the 85mm long ones and tap them into these holes just before you lift each top panel, and that will give you the opportunity to use it to jack the panel up and down and level it and get it in the correct location. And also, if you're struggling to get any of these packers in, you can always give yourself a little bit more room with this jacking bolt and then drop it back down on top of the packer. These packers themselves, we had them cut to shape, so they are steel galvanized horseshoe packers, so you'll be able to just slide them straight in and just put in as many as are required. So that'll fix off the majority of the panel. The only thing you still need to do to make sure it's fully fixed off is to secure what we refer to as the bullnose section. So that is the end detail that hangs over the edge beam on each panel. So there are 3 steps to securing that to the steel. What you ought to find is that there should be some 6mm holes pre-drilled in this fascia beam. They're at predetermined locations, typically they're 1 meter centers. And what we'll need you to do is to secure the top of the bullnose to the steel. We'd just like you to drill through with the 50mm long Tech screws that we have supplied you. The top of the panel has some timber blocks laminated into it to be able to receive the screw. The only thing to be aware of, I guess, is that there could be a gap there, as there's a gap left for tolerance. So if there is, please just pack it out with the plastic packers that we've supplied to site. Now to fix off the bottom edge, we'll be providing you guys with some 20mm thick plywood blocks. What you need to do with those is just slide them in wherever there's a hole, and slide them in until they engage with this tip of the bullnose, as the intention is to help just prop it up if it ever wanted to sag. Now use the 25mm long Tech screws to secure them to the steel, and then finally we'll just need you to use the stainless steel screws that we supplied to fix the flange. So that's this where the panel steps up here. We want you to screw that to the plywood block. So it should be fairly straightforward. Just one thing to be aware of, because these panels are made from fiberglass, you will have to drill a pilot hole through the fiberglass before you're able to drill through into the plywood. And that should pretty much cover fixing off the top panels to the steel. In a separate video I'll cover how you then join panels to each other.